Okay, we need to talk about that one companion we all take to bed every single night, our smartphone. But what if that constant little buddy is actually a sleep thief in disguise? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how your phone is sabotaging your rest and, most importantly, what you can do to fight back.
Go on, be honest with yourself. If the answer is yes, well, you are definitely not alone. For so many of us, our phone is the bookend to our entire day. And if you're also feeling like you're just walking around in a constant state of exhaustion, that glowing rectangle might just be the culprit.
So, how does this actually happen? I mean, how does a device that's supposed to connect us end up disconnecting us from a good night's sleep? It turns out our phones are basically fighting a war against our rest on two separate fronts. One is biological, and the other is psychological. That's right, it's a total double whammy. Your phone disrupts you on both a chemical level and a mental level. So first, it's messing with your brain's actual biology. And second, it's keeping your mind completely revved up right when it should be powering down for the night.
So let's start with the biological side of things, because this is where the science gets really, really clear. It all kicks off with this one crucial hormone that our bodies have been using for forever to regulate sleep. Just think of melatonin as your body's own personal sleep signal. When it gets dark outside, your brain starts releasing it, which basically tells every cell in your body, hey, it's time to wind down. But, and this is a big but, that specific blue light blasting from your phone screen, it actively blocks that signal. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still the middle of the day. And as sleep specialist Dr. Emma Lynn puts it, that stimulation is incredibly powerful. We're not just talking about spending hours scrolling through social media. She says that even a quick 2-second check of your phone in the middle of the night can be enough to totally wake your brain up, making it so much harder to fall back asleep. So here's the bottom line. A phone in the bedroom keeps your body on high alert. Let's look at the difference. Without your phone, melatonin goes up, your heart rate slows down, and you start to relax. But with your phone, melatonin gets blocked, your heart rate stays up, and your nervous system is basically on standby, which keeps you from ever getting into those really deep, restorative stages of sleep. But here's where it gets more personal. This biological attack, it doesn't affect everyone in exactly the same way. And to understand why, we've got to look at our own unique internal clock. Because, we're all wired a little differently when it comes to sleep. You see, our sleep isn't just a simple on-off switch. No, it's this incredibly complex system. It's governed by a whole bunch of things, all working together. Your genes, how much light you see during the day, your social schedule. It's not just about how tired you feel. And right at the heart of all this is something called your chronotype. This is your body's natural genetic preference for when it wants to sleep. Some of us are larks, the early birds who love the morning, and others are owls who are biologically programmed to be more awake and alert later in the evening. Now, this creates a huge conflict for a lot of us, something researchers have nicknamed social jet lag. You know that feeling on Monday morning when your 7 a.m. alarm goes off and it feels like it's the middle of the night? That's it. That's social jet lag. You're constantly fighting your own biology just to keep up with a 9-to-5 world that, frankly, wasn't built for everyone's internal clock. And this is not a small problem. Get this, research suggests a staggering 80% of us are living out of sync with our body's natural clock. This constant battle forces us to rack up a sleep debt all week long, which we then desperately try to pay back by sleeping in on the weekends. But, before we go and blame our phones for absolutely everything, we need to look at the whole picture, because some research adds a really fascinating wrinkle to this story, suggesting that the link between phones and bad sleep isn't always so direct. And this brings up a super important question. What if other things are at play here? What if our late-night phone habit is really just a symptom of other behaviors and not the actual root cause of our sleep problems? So check this out. One study of university students tracked their phone use and their sleep, and what they found was really surprising. There was no direct statistical link. More screen time didn't automatically mean less sleep. This suggests that other things like our bedtime routines, our stress levels, even our diet, play a massive role in our sleep quality. All right, so knowing all of this, the biology, the psychology, the complexity of our internal clocks, what can we actually do? How do we take back control of our nights? Let's get into the practical solutions. So the most effective solution is also the simplest. Though, let's be real, it might be the hardest for some of us. It's time to break up with your phone at bedtime.
By moving it completely out of the bedroom and getting an old-school single-function alarm clock. You just remove the temptation entirely. People who do this say they feel way calmer and more refreshed in the mornings. Okay, now if kicking your phone out of your room just sounds impossible, there's a harm reduction approach you can take. You can use the tools that are already built right into your device. On an iPhone, it's called Night Shift. On Android, you'll see something like Nightlight or Eye Comfort Shield. You can schedule these to turn on automatically at sunset, and they'll shift the screen's color away from those harsh blues to much warmer amber tones. It really lessens the impact on that all-important melatonin. And, at the end of the day, just like Dr. Lin says, better sleep isn't about finding the next fancy gadget or some new sleep tracking app. It's really about subtraction, not addition. It's about giving our bodies the quiet, dark, and calm space they need to do what they've evolved to do naturally. So the real question to ask yourself is, what's one small change you can make tonight to get a little bit of that quiet back?